After the catastrophic release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, I think most people believed that this would signify the end of the franchise for good. Robomodo had single-handedly destroyed the once iconic series with a barely complete game that offered only frustration rather than good times. But the world rejoiced when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was released on September 4th, 2020. Activision were back to Tony Hawk games, and this time handed the reins over to Vicarious Visions, who had made great HD remakes in the past, including the great Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. But how would they do with our beloved Tony Hawk games? Here's my late review on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Skaters needed a good game to sink their teeth into, with Session being in its early access stages and Skater XL not living up to its potential. Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remake couldn't have come at a better time. The game featured completely remastered versions of the first two Tony Hawk games, originally released on the PS1 and N64, and added to the formula to make two really enjoyable experiences. With the first game being so short, Vicarious Visions added 5 new goals to each level to extend the playtime to match the 10 goals per level in Pro Skater 2. Alongside the main career mode was Creator Park, challenges, multiplayer, unlockables and more, but I'll get into all that later. First, I need to talk about the gameplay. The game handled beautifully. It was like falling straight back into the feeling of playing Pro Skater 4 or Thug, but with vastly improved graphics. The players and parks looked hyper-realistic. The amazing reflections created by the sun on wooden ramps and the use of shadows in the darker levels heightened the immersiveness, and this worked perfectly with the arcadey nature of skateboarding that was on offer. I'm pleased to say that the original trick buttons are back after the nightmare of Pro Skater 5, along with manual and grind combos. But with these increased abilities, the level goals had to be harder too. In the original game on the warehouse level, getting the high score of 10,000 points would be done in seconds on this remaster. Speaking of the levels, they looked incredible now. Vicarious Visions obviously spent a lot of time remaking the classic levels from scratch. School 2, a fan favourite, looked amazing, and they somehow made the Leap of Faith look bigger and scarier than it was before. And in School 1, the textures in the basketball court looked out of this world, like something you'd see in an Unreal Tech demo. San Francisco was also vastly improved. No longer could you not see the upcoming ramps due to the early console's draw distances. Now everything in the level could be seen. The infamous Lombard Street now looked real, and I still have no idea how cars drive up and down that every day. This isn't to say that they got everything perfect though. I always had an issue with Burnside in Pro Skater 1 due to the darkness of the level. The remake took that even further, and it made it much less enjoyable for me. I felt like my skater needed a torch strapping to his helmet so that I could see where I was going. I get that this was to be as accurate as possible to the real park, being underneath a freeway, but I do wish that the brightness could have been turned up just a little bit. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. It takes just seconds to do so and means the world to me. And like the video while you're at it. Thanks. I was so happy to see the OG skaters back in the game. Jeff Rowley, Kareem Campbell, Alyssa Steamer, they were all back and looked as amazing as ever. A bunch of newer skaters were included as well, with Letitia Buffoni, Riley Hawk, Shane O'Neill, Tyshawn Jones, and loads of others joining the roster. This gave the game so much more replayability, as the main career could be done by every single character on one save file. This would be needed to unlock items and grind levels, but again, I'll get to that soon. There were a bunch of unlockable characters available, with Officer Dick returning to the games, but this time being played by Jack Black, a wise choice. The Roswell alien was also unlocked by finding 19 small alien plushies throughout the levels. Creator Skater was back in full force, with hundreds and hundreds of customizable things. I could choose his face, clothes, shoes, socks, deck, trucks, wheels, tattoos, voice. This was a level of customization that hadn't really been seen in a Tony Hawk game, and even after sinking tens of hours into it, I still haven't unlocked everything for my character to wear. Along with clothes, emblems and boards could be unlocked by gaining levels and cash from completing challenges. There are hundreds of things to buy, and it truly boggles my mind that they could feature so many signature decks and shoes in the game. Some of these items could only be unlocked by reaching level 100, and this is where my next gripe comes in. The grind in this game, no pun intended, is ridiculous. To get to level 100, I'd have to complete both games with every character, including 4 of my own created characters, complete every challenge, and probably still have to put hours into the multiplayer modes just to get to the highest level. This was very daunting, and to this day I'm still only at level 51. I think it's a goal that's out the reach of most players, especially those who are casual gamers. But alas, I'll keep plodding on to unlock those Creator Park pieces. Creator Park was a big feature in this game. I felt like they finally got it right. With hundreds of items, ramps, bowls and generic objects, I could finally make a park that looked and felt decent. As always, the physics of Tony Hawk games still made it so that my skater would clear the fun box by about 20 meters, but the parks still looked great and were fun to create. Not only that, but it was easier than ever to download a user-made park and see what others could come up with. I'll be honest, I mainly used this to find a park with a never-ending rail, put on the perfect rail balance cheat, and combo my way to infinity to complete those really hard to beat challenges. Multiplayer was ever present in this game, but to be honest, I didn't touch it too much. The usual games of skate and that colour the ramps in different colours mode thing were still there, and these were fun, but people are just too good at this game. If I came up against a pro combo builder, then I had no chance of winning. Again, I only really played on multiplayer to complete some of the challenges. But let's talk about the music. After 21 years of Tony Hawk games, I feel we were blessed with the best of the best. All the iconic tunes from Pro Skater 1 and 2 were included, along with some new absolute bangers. It felt great to listen to Superman again, along with You by Bad Religion and When Worlds Collide by Powerman 5000. It's like the great circle of life is completed and we've arrived back at the good music station. My only issue with the music was that whenever I bailed, the music would stop and do a sort of record scratch effect. I bail a lot and so it got kind of annoying, especially when it was coming up to my favourite part of the song. I couldn't find a way to turn this off, so if anyone knows a way, let me know down below. And there we have it, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was the game I was waiting for, the game we were all waiting for. It played beautifully, had loads of replayability and unlockables, and has challenges that will make you pull your hair out, but still have fun doing. I really enjoyed this game, and I just hope and pray that one day they bring out a 3 and 4 remaster. Thank you for watching this late review, and if you've enjoyed it, why don't you check out this playlist of all the other ones I've done on the Tony Hawk series. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.